If unsettled is your way of living, your way of giving a shit about your life, because unsettled gives you the right to choose how much you don't like life. By saying you're unsettled is your charge of life, is the way you deal with life, is the way you make life better. By just being unsettled, so you are the knowledgeable unsettled, you are the wisdom of unsettled that you can give to other people. Your unsettledness gives them a window to you to show the inside of you that says you know shit that's because you're wrong about shit. No, because you just know what the wrong is. And you know what wrong is because you can see it in your face. You know what it is when you talk about it because you're unsettled inside. And unsettled like that is unsettled that doesn't need to share, that doesn't need to be wise, it doesn't need to be right. Because unsettled like that can sometimes be the reason that unsettled continues to expand and grow in other people too. Someone who's unsettled and says that they're wise is an unsettled person who knows they're not wise. Someone who's unsettled like that knows that they're full of shit isn't always true, but those who know are the ones who are true unsettled for real, and those who need to be more settled about themselves by finding the ground of where they need to be. So the bottom of what they seek is the bottom that they truly are before they start to climb out with unsettled words. To climb on the backs of other people by sharing their unsettled and being more the one who gives people that unsettled get to the knees, get to your knees so that they can step on them and step over you to get higher by gifting you their unsettled. A person like that is a person who sucks. A person like that is a person who shouldn't be unsettled to other people. If you're unsettled and wise and you're unsettled and wrong, and unsettled and wrong is unsettled that can't be right. Can't be right ever isn't true because unsettled sometimes is just unsettled for real, and unsettled for real is a good person that's unsettled. A good person that's unsettled is a person that doesn't want to stay unsettled, but unsettled can sometimes be expressed. If I'm unsettled about being unsettled. I can't describe unsettled the way I want to describe. If I'm unsettled, then I'm unsettled because I don't know how I'm going to be unsettled tomorrow. Uncertainty is something that I don't want to feel. If I'm uncertain today, then uncertain tomorrow is not something that I want to feel too. I can feel myself laugh. I can feel myself have joy, but I can feel myself also have that little bit of gnawing in my back of my brain that says that something's going to happen, something wrong is going to be, that I'm not going to be able to keep things right. And the reasons are mine and the reasons are true, but the reasons are something that I need to choose to look in and say that that's the way I want to live, that's the way I want to be, because I can choose different and I can believe different too. I can believe different because tomorrow doesn't have to be that way because I can change it in one moment today, right now, by thinking that it's not going to be that way. And the way that it's going to be is the way that I just don't know because unsettled is uncertainty mixed into two. And when I'm unsettled and uncertain because I'm, I'm certain and unsettled because of that, then the reason why can be something that I don't know. But with the reason that I don't know is the reason I don't share because I don't share what I'm unsettled about too much too. But if I have a reason to be unsettled, it's simply because of this. I don't know if I want to do anything more than just talk about being unsettled. Because when I talk, and I walk the talk that I talk, I can be more settled about the way that I live my life and reflect it too. But when I don't walk the talk and I don't talk the walk and I don't be the walk and that reflects the talk that is the walk, then I'm the one that gets unsettled and the one that knows that maybe I'm not going to be the talk that walks and the walk that talks. And so they don't have a right to speak this. I don't have a right to speak this way. I don't have a right to talk into a mic this way and say, I'm the guy who's unsettled when I'm the guy that's why I'm the guy that doesn't know shit that you should listen to right now. That's not true because now this is what I do. Hey, God, what the hell am I talking about? And God says this to say this, say it like this. As I talk, this is how I talk to God. My Lord say, what is it I'm trying to say? And God says this. Let's remind say this. I'm not being unsettled. I'm just being unwise about the way that I share what it is that's going on in my life. I don't want to be honest and I don't want to be truthful. And I don't want to be a person that hurts anybody that loves me. Because when I don't know who really watches this as closest to me and close family or close friends, I don't want them to believe that I'm the guy who lies. I'm the guy who isn't truthful about the things that I say. And the reason that is because when I don't want to be truthful and I don't want to hide it, I also don't want to live the lie of being someone who can say things that are wise. But a man who is unwise is a man who can be more wise by being a man who is truthful too. Someone who is unsettled and says to others, don't listen to the unsettled person who's not wise, who spouts off wisdom about being unsettled as being the way to be. It's something that you do not do, Mr. Roman. You do not speak in that way. You don't say that misery is right. You don't say unhappiness is right. You don't say that hurting other people is right. An unsettled person who is that way, who just says the world is after them, the world is going to get them, the world is going to get them, is a person that wants to get the world first. And that's the kind of unsettled that you're talking about, not the kind of unsettled that is different than that. And so the unsettled that you don't want to talk about is the unsettled that you don't want to be, which is the unsettled about not being free. Not being free about your own life and not being free about the way you can choose and not being free about what's right. So if you want to say this to God, if I ask God for one more piece of advice for me to follow, God would say this. You need to follow your wits and you need to follow your right and you need to follow the way that you've lived when you're right. When you're right, you do it right. And when you're wrong, you do it wrong. But wrong isn't something that you do strong. Being wrong strong is something that an unsettled person will feel and do more day in and day out. But your confidence in right is your confidence in good is what makes you come through when you are wrong. And the wrong that you are isn't the wrong that is wrong to the degree that it used to be wrong. You are less wrong each time, and you are less wrong each way that you try to do it, and it's something that you know is true. The lesser wrong you can be simply by trying to be less wrong eventually will lead to no wrong again. And that's the goal, and that's not a sign of weakness. It's not a sign of not. It's not a. It's not a sign of accomplishments. It's a sign of progression, is what it is. You never know when the last time will be that you're wrong about something particular, and you're still so apprehensive to say it too. So this I say, that's all I'm gonna say. And that's my story, and I'm sticking with it.